Welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. I'm talking another Vectrex game that I'm not wild about. This one is Scramble, and I guess we're starting straight into it. Yeah, this is one of the kind of classic games people love on their Vectrex, and I just think it's okay. In fact, I'm not even using a proper Scramble overlay for it, never bought one, because I don't think it's all that great. Now, I think what it achieves is really impressive. It does bring to the home Vectrex scene the Scramble game, and does it pretty well under the circumstances, but I've never been a big fan of it. I think what it is, I have pretty good nostalgia for the original machine. It's sort of, anytime I play that game, it reminds me of a summer in, I believe it was 81. I was in the UK, actually. That's the first place I played Scramble. And yeah, I really like the game, but I'm not a big fan of the Vectrex version. Why? I don't entirely know. Like, it's not like it's doing anything wrong. It's a good port, it's a good rendition. If you were a kid of the era, you would have been super thrilled, as many are, with this game. I know this is one of those beloved Vectrex titles that everybody is just crazy for, but I'm not one of those people. I think what it is, oh, I got a new life. I think what it might be is the real estate is not well used. I'm used to, with Scramble and, oh, what's the helicopter one? That's gonna burn me. Anyway, the helicopter one, I'll put a little indication here. With both of those, yeah, here's part of the trouble. Getting some slowdown. Now that's not the Vectrex's fault. I mean, it's managing pretty well, given everything that's going on screen. But I think this is one of those games where maybe it really feels like the chuggy element of the slowdown can really impact gameplay. I think that's why that's one of many points against it, in my opinion. And I'm not thrilled with it. For those who don't know Scramble, you've done the first couple levels already where you're just flying through and you want to stop the missiles from hitting you. And you want to keep an eye on your fuel. You'll notice there's a fuel indicator at the bottom of the screen, and it's going to tell you when you're low on it. And that's kind of your, other than the missiles trying to destroy you, that's what you want to keep an eye open for, your fuel gauge. Oh, here we go. And then you come to this, I think this is a cityscape. This work is really tough. Game over. Yeah, so to my original point, I think it's, let's just let that run. Oh, do we have to? I guess we have to keep playing. Not a fan of that either. Okay, level 1, you're going over in the arcade, a kind of a, sort of a rocky terrain, gnarly 80s pink color. And then you do the level where the meteorites fall on you. You want to keep alive for that. And then you're going over a cityscape. So it's essentially, if you've never played the arcade game, that's what we're playing here. And I will confess, the Vectrex does a very good job of kind of replicating that. I just don't like it. I think it's, oh sorry, these are UFOs. They're not meteors. Meteors are in level 3. We're going through a cave system with a bunch of UFOs bouncing around, and I'm dead. But I think, yeah, again, I think it's the height of the screen. In the Konami, yes, Konami original, you've got a lot more room up and down to work with. With the Vectrex, as great as it has with its vertically aligned monitor, I feel I'm kind of squished in, like I think it's because I don't feel like I have as much room above me and below me. And that's a factor as this game gets harder. Then you add in the slowdown, and I'm kind of like, why do people love this so much? Again, a good rendition of the game, for sure, but I don't think I'm in love with this one like so many people are. Okay, got an extra life. That'll help me a bit. Oh, here come the meteors. Can't shoot them. All you can do is avoid them. But make sure you don't run out of your fuel, which are the things at the bottom. Maybe it's also the sound effects. Like if you're not a fan of the shrillness of that dropping bomb sound, spoiler, you're going to be hearing that a lot in this game. So that's, I think, also a factor why I'm not in love with it. Here we go. Can we get through this stuff? Ah! No. Just trying to concentrate here, get through this so I can show you something new. Okay. Also, I think the big thing as well for me, I don't like raster games, standard CRT type games, converted to vector games. I think Vectrex should remain vector, and, the Atari 2600 or any other home console that's using your television, use that for your raster games. Leave Vectrex with the vector. Now, I got Moon Patrol or Vector Patrol. It's really good. I really like it. So it's not like it can't be done, but I think generally speaking, and I mean I play this every once in a while, generally speaking though, my disdain for Scramble on the Vectrex is it's too squished up, and I don't really like how it has the slowdown, and I don't like raster games converted to vector games, generally speaking. Now, what I'm going to do, just to be completely fair here, is also try this, because I'm just using the standard Vectrex controller. Let me try it with my modded Sega Genesis controller, because I have a feeling maybe the D-pad will make this control a little bit better. Let's have a look. Okay, now with Genesis controller. It seems a little better, because the problem with the Vectrex controller in general, I love it. I think it is a great, great controller, especially since I believe it's the first analog thumbstick. Am I correct in that? You Vectrex fans, maybe you can sound off to me on that? Yeah, I love the Vectrex controller, but admittedly, anything, I don't know, Pac-Man-ish or platforming, you're not going to have a lot of success, because that thumbstick, being analog, that really makes it tough. So anytime a game like this, which is an arcade original that generally used a digital pad or a digital joystick, it's not going to work very well with the Vectrex controller. There we go. But it's okay for the fact that I've got this modded Genesis controller. Is helping with that problem. It'll be interesting to see. I'm going to get to that city level and see do I get any further than before using this controller, because that'll at least narrow down. Is part of my trouble with it, part of my issue, is it to do with that thumbstick. Okay, meteors should be showing up soon. A little while ago, here we go. A little while ago, I discussed Pole Position, which is another beloved Vectrex game, and I was not in love with that one. And it just made me think, maybe I should talk about some negative stuff. Because I generally, in my channel, I generally concentrate on positive things, just because nobody needs to hear another person giving off on the internet complaining about stuff. But the flip side of that is, here we go. When all you do is talk about stuff you like, how good of a reviewer do you tend to be? So I just thought, yeah, let's talk about some negative stuff for once. Why not? I hope this doesn't annoy Vectrex fans who are all like, oh, this guy, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's never played Scramble. Yes, I have. I've played it properly in the arcade back in the day. I know how to play Scramble. Oh, I'm getting farther. I'm getting farther, he says, and then he's about to die. So, I think the D-pad helps. A big issue with this game for the Vectrex is that analog thumbstick. Oh, I'm getting low on fuel. Okay, see how it's flashing? Ah. Okay. Ooh, is it getting exciting now? Oh, so far. Oh, okay, it's continuing on. That's pretty good that it'll remember and kind of, well, I guess through some kind of a checkpoint system, you can continue along. Yeah, this is way better with a modified Genesis controller, because you need to solve that open. Oh well. Only got a couple lives left. Anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to talk about Scramble and bang against the ceiling, apparently. Because I always hear it as one of the top 10 greatest Vectrex games, and I'm just like, yeah, but it's not very good. At least I'm not a big fan of it. And I wanted to discuss why, but, oh, one more life. But I believe half of my problem with it was the controller. So if you've got a modified digital controller of some description, I recommend you use it, especially for these parts, because these parts are hard. Darn it. Okay. Well, there we go. There is Scramble on the Vectrex. Thought I would discuss that since the last one I did was about the pole position. Another game I wasn't thrilled with. This one's okay, but I have a lot of other games on the Vectrex that I love a heck of a lot more. Alright, well, until next time, we'll see you down the rabbit hole.